everyone, welcome back to Same Right Fashion Academy YouTube channel once again. I'm so glad to be with you. So today's tutorial will be focusing on the cape dress you are seeing right there on the screen. So our main focus for this tutorial is to show you how you can comfortably draft out that bodice with the cape inserted to it. So right now we want to start off this tutorial right away, and right here you can see you need your basic bodice drafting, which I've already drafted right here. I have my shoulder, I have my chest line, and I have my bust point, my under bust point, and I have the waistline, which can also serve as the front leg. Okay, so if you don't know how to draft your basic bodice, I have a detailed video on this channel on how to draft a basic bodice. So right now we want to jump into this tutorial, but if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week, like this video and share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section below as well. So we want to start off this tutorial. So if you have been following the tutorials on this channel, you will notice that when drafting the basic bodice, once the basic bodice is drafted, the first thing you do is to shear your neckline. Once neckline is sheared, your shoulder seam line is sheared, you connect back to the bust points. Okay, and the second thing we do here is to draft out the bust radius. The bust radius will enable you to determine your neckline, and it will also help you out when padding this bustier. Okay, I always like making use of my bust radius for an accurate padding of my bustier with my wadding or feasible fleece. So now you can see I've made the bust area. That is where the bust is actually going to sit. So it's going to serve as a guide right now for you. So the next thing we are going to do is to determine the neckline. Okay, we are going to draft the neckline, and from the shoulder line I'm coming down by 2.5 inches, or you can make it 2 inches. It depends on how high you want that neckline to be. Remember, we have a sleeve which is going to be attached to it as well. Okay, so I might decide to come, I have my mid armhole line at 4 inches, so I might decide to come up by 2 inches or 2.5. Okay, so let us do 2.5 from here to here, 2.5. And then from the neckline you'll be measuring the cleavage line. That is the point at which you want the neckline to run to. So I'll be making use of 3.5 from the neckline, natural neckline, for this particular tutorial. So you have to measure your cleave line. That will show give you exactly what you want. So now I'm coming in with my curve ruler. I'm going to connect the 2.5 inch I came up from here to form the neckline. Can you see? So the neckline has been formed. So the next thing is to determine the width of this cape. So the width of this cape, I would like to work with 2.5 inches or 2 inches. Okay, so let me work with 2.5 inches. From here to here is exactly 2.5 inches. So on the chest line, that is where the width of my cape falls. So right now from here to here, I would love to come in by 1.5 inch. So I have the shape of that cape I have right there. So from here to here I measured 1 inch, and I'm going to connect back to this point. So now I have 2.5. I'll measure 2.5 on this line. This is what I get. I measure 2.5 for the width of my cape till I exhaust it. Okay, so I'm going to connect all the 2.5 lines I made right now. All right, so this is what I have, and this is my cape. So right now I'm going to trace out my cape. That is the first thing I'm going to do. I'll be tracing out this cape, so we'll be able to have the opportunity to draft our contour our over bust. Okay, so I will quickly draft out this cape right now using my tracing wheel. I'm going to draft everything I have from here to here, like this, like that, and that will serve as my cape. All right, lovely people, so you can see I've traced out the cape, and this is my cape. So you can see it's matching right into what I have right here, all the way from the center front to 1.5 we came in. Okay, so I use my tracing wheel. This is a tracing wheel. I place the paper below and I traced out the shape of the cape. Okay, so I'm going to set this cape aside, but before I set it aside, I would like to write my center front here so I don't misplace my cape, and here is going to serve as the upper part. So once I have center front and upper part, I'm good to go. I would know I'm not going to misplace this cape, so I'll set it aside for the upper bust. So on the upper bust, remember this is the neckline. We want to contour the upper bust right now. So what we have right here is the neckline. This is the actual neckline which we are going to build this cape. So from this neckline right now, I will come in from here, this point by 0.75, and I'll come in from here by 0.75. So it actually works perfectly for a perfect bust contouring. So here I'm going to connect what I have at that point right to the bust point. I'll flip my ruler and I'll also connect back to the bust point. Can you see? So here I have contoured my upper bust perfectly. So the next thing I want to do is to contour the under bust. So if you have been following this tutorial regularly, you will notice a perfect way of contouring the under bust. This is the center front and this is the under bust line. I place my tape around my waist, around my under bust very, very firmly, and whatever figure I have, I divide by 4. If you divide by 4, the result, this is what I have as my result. Whatever thing remaining from here to here, I share 0.25, that is a quarter of an inch on this part, and the remaining of it I share right here. So now I'm placing my ruler, the inner curve of my curve ruler. Now I'll place it at this point on the center front to the bust point, and I flip it over once again from the side to the bust point, and I return it back to the waistline, and I return it back to the waistline. Okay, all right people, and it's as simple as this, and we are done with this cape dress. So the next thing we want to do is to cut out this particular dress pattern. We are cutting out the pattern. So right here I want to talk about the armhole line. If you look at this armhole line, you can see is a normal armhole line. Okay, all right. So but then we have to replace this dart. Okay, that is very important before we cut out. The reason is because if you look at this neckline, you can see the neckline is running and coming out. It's not running into the under bust, under the armhole, sorry. Okay, so you need to replace what you have right here. This 1.5 has to replace. If not, if you cut off this dart, you'll be having a shortage. Okay, so I want you to always note when our darts are being replaced. So to replace this dart now, I'm going to come out on the neckline. This is the neckline from the center front. I'm taking it outside the armhole, and I'm going to replace what I have right here. I have 1.5 from here. I'm going to replace 1.5 to avoid shortage. And I'll connect what I have at that point back to my armhole. Can you see? So this is exactly what you expected to have for this particular dress. Okay, so if you look at this dress, somehow you can see we've extended the cape because of the replacement of the dart. So that means you are going to also go ahead and extend your cape. Okay, so I'll just place my tape, my ruler like this, and extend this cape like this. Okay, so once I cut off, okay, you know we've already traced our cape, but that is no problem. Once you cut off the dart, the cape relaxes accordingly. Can you see? It will relax accordingly. Okay, all right, so we'll be cutting off what we have on this pattern now that we've replaced the dart. So now I'm going to take my cutting from this point. All right, so I cut into the neckline. Remember, what we are cutting right now is the bodies of this dress, the bodies of this dress. So that is why I'm cutting in this manner. The center front, I'm going to cut it off. Then I'm going to cut on the bust area. Can you see? So I'm cutting off the that we replaced. Okay, I will cut this other part right now into the that we replaced. So you can see the shortage we have here. That is what we replaced at this point. Okay, so I'll take away this dart, we don't need it. So next we are going to do is to cut into and close up our bust dart. Okay, so I'll quickly apply my adhesive and close up the bust dart for this. So this is what we have at the end of this tutorial. This is what you need for this, for the bodies of your cape. So you are going to add your seam allowances of 0.5 inch, 0.5 inch, and this part has to be on fold. Remember, when cutting both your lining and fabric, you have to place that part on fold. So this is what we are going to have. You apply your adhesive and close up the bust dart. Okay, so I would want to match up what I have here. That is very important, to make sure I don't have subsequent shortages. Starting from the bust point, you can see the bust point line and you can see the chest line. So from the chest line, you can see we have a lot of shortage. So I'm going to replace the shortage right now. I'll show you how to do. Now I want to replace what we have right here, okay, because we are going to sew this and this together. So it will be nice we add up and fill in the space. You can see the shortage we have. So now I'm going to apply my adhesive here. I'll also do that over here, and then I'm going to start matching up what I have from the chest line. You can see the chest line. I'll match it up and I'll match it up. Okay, so I'll be able to note where I have the shortage. So once I have there, I will want this one to meet this point. Why this is the way you see it there, and it does not affect anything. So I'll also place my ruler the same way we placed it before, making sure I have this match up. Okay, you see me keep shifting my ruler because I want to get this accurately. Okay, let me see if I use a straight line. Okay, and it's okay, and we are good to go with it. All right, so now it has been replaced. So you can see the shortage we have at that point. All of these are what we could have had as a shortage on the fabric. So right now I want to cut the new replaced line. And now I go in like this. Can you see that? So what I have here can be taken off at this moment. Okay, so you see this is what we have as our new pattern. So now I bring it together once again. The reason I'm doing this is because of the cape. Okay, so remember the cape is going to run from the center front at this point. Can you see? So the cape, this is what we'll be having for the cape right now. All right, so now I'll be advising you to add more to your cape. Okay, what do I mean by that? As you can see, we have this together now. You can see we have a little more shortage on the cape. Okay, so another thing you can do is to match this together. You can match this together and retrace your cape. I think that is what we are going to do right now. So we'll get this cape perfectly, because the way it is right now, what we have now with the addition we have right here, we need the cape to come in and fall in place perfectly. So I'm merging them together now. I'm going to redraw this cape now, including this shortage, and we'll trace it out exactly the way we have it. Okay, so I'll take off what I have right here now. Okay, so I'll put these two together now that I've seen and we are going to redraw this cape. Okay, so we'll have the cape fitting perfectly the way we want. So like I said, the main purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to draft this inbuilt cape. Okay, so this cape you are seeing right here right now, remember we've already drafted it, and now we have replaced, and we need this cape to fall in place accordingly. So this is the center front, and we came in from here by 1.5 if you remember, and this line is connected to that line for our cape. So now the cape measurement is 2.5. So from this line I'll start marking 2.5. I'll start marking 2.5 wherever it falls. I'll start marking 2.5 because that is the current line we have. Okay, so I'm going to redraw this cape now, and I'm going to retrace this cape as well. So this is what we have right here. Can you see? So this is our new cape, and this is the cape that is going to match perfectly. The reason is because what we have right here, if you have to match it here, you can see we are having some discrepancies on the cape. We have some shortage because of the replacement of the dart and all that. So this is the right cape right now, which I'm going to trace out. Okay, so I'm going to trace out everything I have right here. That is what I'm going to trace out. Everything I have right here is going to serve as that cape. Okay, all right, so now you can see I've dropped my brown pattern paper, and I'm going to trace right now. So I'm tracing the line of the new cape. As you can see, this is in line of the new cape. I'll be tracing like this. On this part, instead of tracing, I'll come in with my ruler, and I'll just bring out the shape. Okay, this part also, you can also use your pattern ruler and bring it out. Okay, so but coming over to this part, I'm going to trace the cape like this. Okay, and this part you have to trace it like this. So once that is done, I'll take off what I have here, and now this is my cape. As you can see, I'm seeing the lines of the cape. I don't know if you saw the line of the cape. Okay, so I'll just trace it, follow the lines I traced, as you can see right here. So this is the center front of the cape, and this is the upper part of the cape. So we have our new cape now, and I'll cut in through the cape and match it up to the pattern once again to see if the cape is accurately matching up. Alright, so I come in with my pattern once again, and I place my cape. Can you see? So now this is a perfect cape, and that is the cape we need. Okay, so I'll discard this first cape because this is the perfect cape for this dress. Okay, so I have my cape, and I'm going to cut 2 times of this cape. Remember, this pattern is on fold, one on the right and one on the left. I take off this and this. Okay, so if you are sewing this dress, please add your seam allowances accordingly. I'm going to cut 2 times of it and pad my bust here as well. So once you sew in the dress, and complete the first, that is the fabric part, you will now turn your cape. You sew your cape, turn, give it a good press, sew it into the neckline and turn it with your fabric, and you'll be done with this dress. So the next thing after doing the sewing your cape is to attach the sleeve. So the sleeve is going to be the last thing you are going to attach. So for that particular sleeve, I have a detailed video on our online paid classes. So if you want to know how to sew that particular sleeve to this beautiful cape, you can join our WhatsApp group and notify me for that. I'll be dropping my link on the description box below to that particular WhatsApp sewing class. Okay, all right, so this is how we come to the end of this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section below as well. So as for the back of this dress, okay, the back of this dress will be cut the same way we cut this pattern, but it's just going to be a simple one. Okay, you also take your the neck depth you desire and come in by 2.5 as well for the back, so it has to match up with what we have at the front. Okay, so the back part is simple and it's something you can do. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial once again, and see you in my next class. Bye.